bank account trim. I promise you he ain't rich.
Welcome back to ZDK Liberty Radio. You're joined in the program I Dare You. This is the radio station of the program where you say what's on your mind, right? We don't sugarcoat anything. We listen and we don't judge. So with me today, I have the beautiful lady. I have Miss Joshanette Francis. She's a disability advocate, and she's also the founding president of the non-profit Good Humans 268 Inc. And of course, she's with me today. Why is this lady on my screen and she's not smiling? I don't understand. And she's always smiling and always happy, but I'm not getting a smile today.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the listening public.
Hi, Josh and Knight. How you doing, honey?
So far, so good.
Okay, so I have lots of questions. You see, maybe we need to do part 1, 2, and 3 because you are so interested. You know, I was going through. You sent me a book. I'm saying it's a book because oh my gosh, girl, you sat down and you put all that together.
Change is only going to happen when we put things in black and white. If I close my eyes in debt today or tomorrow, somebody else should be able to follow a blueprint that we've designed to change the lives of individuals with disabilities.
Look at you, girl. I'm telling you, I was going through and I was like, oh my gosh, the mind of this woman, it is phenomenal. When I was reading through, I read till I fall asleep last night with the phone right on my chest. And then my hubby was like, you can't sleep with the phone on your chest. Like, I said, boy, and I got up this morning and I was going through because you are doing an amazing work.
So there's me, and people see me a lot, but there's also a team of people behind of me who's doing a lot of great things. And for me, Good Humans 268, people see me and they hear me a lot, but it's really for the 16,000 people based on the census 10 years ago that have a disability. And I have not, maybe there is a plan, but I have not seen a plan where we're talking about laying down objectives and how we're going to move from point A to point B. So we crafted not one, but 2 very detailed documents as to how we can change Antigua and Barbuda. For individuals with disabilities, I like to say that the jobs are not there. So we have to create the jobs.
Right.
We have to create the boat. We're going to have to create the plane. And then we're going to have to train pilots. And we're going to have to train
captains.
Yes. So we are going to do it ourselves. And we're not waiting for anybody to come and give us any handouts. Because I keep saying to individuals, it's not that nothing is done for individuals with disabilities. There's a lot of things happening for individuals with disabilities. It's just not enough.
It's just not enough. But that brings me to wanting you to share your journey and what inspired you to become a disability advocate.
So I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis at 24, so just about 6 years ago. The cartilage in my knees are failing me. They're predicting by 40 I might not be able to work. They're deteriorating at a rapid response. In 2020, I was removed from the schedule for one of my jobs, and then I was eventually given a termination letter on March the 21st. 2021. I went through a dark phase of depression. I deleted myself from social media. I was angry. I was frustrated. And then I learned about the Disability Tribunal. So the Disability Act was passed in 2017 and the tribunal is still not functional. I want my case heard by the tribunal. 5 years later, I'm still not settled with my previous employers.
Right.
We're talking about, I would say to anybody, January 2020, before the pandemic,
right.
I was approved for my mortgage. And then October 28, 2020, I signed on a dotted line again. The bank was going to give me some money to build my house.
Right.
I lost my job, so that means I don't have a mortgage. That means I live with the man. If the man decides today or tomorrow for come out the place, that means I have to find someone.
You got to go.
Got to go.
You and
the ching bang.
Your ching bang and
the dog.
And the name got to go. Okay.
And that is because I was fired. Life has still not balanced out, because I will say to anybody, even for not just myself, a lot of people, we still have not been able to catch ourselves after the pandemic, because loss of job, and even when you did get back your job, the bills didn't stop piling up.
Right.
So,
and you don't have many landlords, and you know that will be considerate enough to say, you know what, you're not working. We have hit a crisis in society.
The bank still want their money.
Exactly.
And any loan that you have, they still want their money, and life has not balanced out. We're still struggling. However,
so
I've used this as a positive thing.
So this goes back to your work, because you know I have some questions outlined here for you. All right, you see why I need part 1, 2, and 3, because girl, I'm telling you, this is quite interesting, honey bunny. So I'm seeing here, I have a question. How do you define environmentally friendly in the context of your work with individuals with disability?
So individuals with disabilities, so disability is actually on a spectrum. So if we think about blindness, there are individuals who are completely blind, there are individuals who might be blind
partially
in one,
blind.
correct?
Right.
So disability is on a spectrum. So the idea is that everything we do for Good Humans 268, we want to be able to give somebody a job. So whatever program we create, we might not be able to give them jobs in every single field of that project. However, we should be able to give at least 5 to 20 individuals jobs. So everything that we designed is to give them jobs, because again, I'm all for the handouts. Yeah, donate the wheelchair. Yeah, give them the food package. But what people with disabilities need is jobs.
Right. But what are some, seeing that you're talking about the food care, the packages and all of that, what are some of the successful partnerships you've established that benefit both the environment and the individuals with a disability?
So our student community service program is designed to engage students from 5 kindergarten to 16 fifth form. So that's 12 years of us going into the schools, and we should be teaching recycling, reforestation, and volunteering. The idea and what we've successfully done, we got grant funding for the recycling aspect, and we've been able to give at least 3 individuals with disabilities jobs. However, like everything, being very candid, the plan isn't going according to plan. We've faced not 1, not 2, not 3, but lots of delays, lots of setbacks, lots of changes. And our team has actually reduced now to just 5 of us being on the team. Very candid, I like to say to people, they see Good Humans 268 and they see us, we put on our clothes, we bathe. So we look like we have money, but we don't have no money. Nobody on the team has actually had a full salary since October 15th, because the government has not been able to do what it said it's supposed to do. Right. And what I've said to the team is failure isn't an option. So after December, we're in the little limbo as to what we're gonna do, and then like maybe a month ago we all sat down and we decided whether we're gonna get paid or not. We're gonna go to the end of the school year, which is June. So this is people committing to work. We've been 6 months and they haven't been paid, and we're committing to changing the lives of individuals with disabilities.
Well, my next question goes towards that. How do you ensure that the employment and training programs you develop are inclusive and accessible?
That is because they're designed to be that way. So our concept is necessary.
But you just said that you guys, it is designed to be that way, but you're saying that the government is not doing what they are supposed to do. So you've been out of pay for like 6 months, you
6
say?
months. Nobody on our team has been paid for 6 months.
Exactly.
So what we do, we continue the work. I have this conversation. I have this conversation on the radio. I go on every radio station, I go on every platform, and we let people know nobody on our team has been paid. We have a Helen John Hughes filled with bottles that we need to move. We need money for gas. We need money for transportation. We need the public's help. And if we get enough people rallying behind the concept, and it's not just recycling, the concept of giving individuals with disabilities jobs,
right.
The government will eventually conform. That's my rationale. But I will also say the government doesn't have any money. So what we've designed is a program or programs that can generate $53 million. The sustainability component for our project was the 20 cents from the Plastic Free Initiative.
Right.
The Plastic Free Initiative is the initiative where they were at Epicurium and Crabs, and they were paying 20 cents for bottles.
Right.
So if we went to a school and we collected bottles, there was no need to charge, because then we would submit our bottles to that initiative and we would get the 20 cents. that has not worked out the way it should. So for me, failure isn't an option. So I designed what we're calling eco communities. If we get households to pay $1.50 per day, which rounds up to just about $45 per month, we can generate $15 million every year from households.
Right.
If we teach food handlers to at least 40% of the working population, we can generate $80,000. If every FET, we put a system in place just like St. Lucia, so it's not new to Antigua. In St. Lucia, in order for you to have a FET, you must submit a waste management plan.
Right.
If all events in Antigua, big, small, medium,
Right.
whatever,
We're doing something like that, it would have been
correct. We generate $1 per ticket. That means we can generate over $20 million. So if we get businesses to also submit waste management plans, so it's not a situation where you have a business and you can just open up shop. You must have a plan for how you're going to manage your waste.
Right,
Collectively, with all of these things, we're saying today, we're having this interview today is March the 26th, 2025. My team has not been paid since October 15th, including myself. However, failure isn't an option. What we've done is come up with different solutions and pitched it to the government. We're pitching it to the public. Let us solve the problem of people not getting paid. Let's think about 2 years from now, not even 2 years, let's think about Carnival. If we change the logistics of Carnival and every FET that's happening for the rest of the year, that means we can generate revenue to pay a team.
Right.
And then that means individuals with disabilities, we will then be able to give them jobs.
We'll have jobs because you seem to be answering all the questions that I have here without even asking. Guess what? This lady is putting me through and making my job even harder than it is. I have my thing planned out now, but I realize that you're covering everything because my next question to you was, how do you what challenges do you face when trying to create environmental friendly initiatives for people with disability? But you've just explained that.
The problem is money. And
It's
so
money.
every meeting I go to, I let people know programs don't work without revenue sources. So I will also say I'm very spiritual. 2020, when things went bad, I read the Bible and the story of Job has stuck with me. You got to praise God in the good time and you got to praise God in the bad times.
And sometimes the main thing is that sometimes when you humble yourself, you get double for your trouble, yeah?
Not only that, it's in the bad times. So I can sit
In the
here
bad
and
times, double for your trouble.
We are thinking about I just laid down how we can easily generate $53 million, and that's only because we don't have any money.
Right.
So now my brain now has to go into overdrive. How do we come to the place where December of this year we can still have a team and we're not telling people Christmas there's no money, because we've generated a system outside of the regular revenue streams that are currently available to shift Antigua and Barbuda.
How many persons do you cater for?
So at this point, employment at this point, we need a team. Our team is 5. We were a team of 8. 3 people have decided then with the foolishness, but we have a team of 5. And I will say, just like myself, the fight isn't just about our pay. The fight is about
under the employment.
It's about changing the lives of individuals with disabilities. And
Right.
if very spiritual, I'm tired and I've cried a lot about it. The bank sent me a letter and tell me they're going to check with Milan, and so I respond to the bank and I respond like I don't have any money to pay. And I've also been saying the serenity period said to the lady, well, 2 things. Now, if I take Milan and I sell Milan, I can't sell Milan for less than the value. So if you sell Milan, the backlog in that Milan become fight the problem. So now for me problem, I fight the problem. I'm a not e-cab naga want the government and the international place for see I sell Milan and send all them millions of back to the landfill. So my problem is now your problem. So selling my land might be a good thing. Number 1. Number 2, when you sell my land, I got change, so I can't build a house, so I can't move out to the man place, because I can't build a house cash. And the woman that look at me like, this crazy woman, and I'm saying to her, you see the spirit of Job? I have the spirit of Job. They cannot break me. When you send me this letter, I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm not foolish. I sent y'all a letter. I told y'all my salary isn't coming. However, it's not working out. But for me, every disappointment is a blessing.
It's a blessing. It's for good.
And I will say to anybody, we're thinking about Guinness World Book Records. We're thinking about changing the lives of individuals with disabilities. And the bad part, which is the season we're currently in, has shown us things. We're thinking about, I never thought of events. I never thought of doing households, but because we now need to be thinking about money in a different spectrum, we've come up with these ideas.
So how do you advocate for policy changes that support both disability rights and environmental sustainability?
So we've actually been writing a column for Antigua Observer. It goes live, actually just sent an email for tomorrow's piece. So we've been writing that from since last year, January. We started to write for the Point Express, and we also started to write for the St. Paul's Weekly. So we write community conscious, climate conscious, and conscious living.
I got you.
3 of them every week. I come to radio interviews, so once individuals call me, I'm here.
Right.
Our social media is not as populated because there's a lot of things happen that is actually not on our social media page, but we try to ensure we update our social media page.
Right.
And the idea is to eventually get our newsletter up and going. So the more voices we have talking about the issues, the bigger the impact.
So can you share a story that highlights the positive impact your work has had on individuals with disability?
So there's a child in Potters Primary, Diana. I went to the schools because a part of grant writing is you have to get people to agree to do what you're doing. So we're going to all the schools, the 81 schools on island. So I'm making my way to all of the principals, asking them if they're interested in us putting recycling bins at their schools. I would say to anybody, I thought principals would be saying, no, not all 81 principals say, yes, bring the bin on them. So I get to Potters Primary and I run into the story of Diana. Actually, I had the opportunity to meet her. Diana has been going to Potters Primary since kindergarten.
Right.
She's in a wheelchair. However, because there's not an accessible bathroom, so an accessible bathroom is a bathroom that's big enough that the wheelchair can get into.
As a ramp, right.
It has to have a ramp. You must be able to get into the bathroom and maneuver in the bathroom.
Right.
Wash your hands. She's been going to Potters Primary, a government school, since kindergarten.
Right.
I run into this story 2023 at this point.
So they know a situation.
So she's been at this school for 4 years at this point.
Wow.
And in order for her to get to the bathroom, she always needed assistance. Whether it's a classmate, a teacher, her mother, somebody had to give her assistance.
Right.
I go and I speak to the director of education. Shout out to Mr. Punter at Board of Education. Punter, mwah, miracle, great. But the Punter, plenty. I said to Punter, y'all are infringing on her basic human rights. She should not have to ask anyone to go to the bathroom.
Right.
So remember, she's been going since kindergarten. We're now in grade 4, so this is 4 years.
Right.
A bathroom was erected last year, December. So there's now a bathroom there that is accessible, meaning there's a ramp. She can go into the bathroom. She can maneuver the bathroom. And we're now having conversations about grade 6, secondary school, college. What happens when she starts to work? She can have children.
And what for others, coming in with the same disability.
So the idea is to retrofit one of every primary school. So we have 4 zones. So we should retrofit 4 primary schools completely. And then we need to retrofit another 5 or 6 secondary schools, because what's going to happen, we have to retrofit the 2 schools in Barbuda, Holy Trinity and Sarah Chester. We need to retrofit Antigua Girls High School and Antigua Grammar School, and then we need to retrofit 2 other secondary schools. So what should happen is we should live in a country where once you have a disability, we have schools that are already retrofitted that you can maneuver. And the reason we didn't put any money into the bathroom, so Good Humans didn't give them $1. What Good Humans did was Josh and Ed went, I'm a chat plenty.
Which is right.
Me call Punter, me send his son Yai. When you keep at it, and there's a bathroom there now. It's all about advocacy, and sometimes what has to happen with advocacy, it isn't that you have the money, it's that you push the people who have the money or who have the resources
to see the need.
Correct. Because sometimes, and I'm gonna be very honest, they get busy, they forget about things. So what I might think is important, 10 other people actually come right after they had a conversation with me. And
then get no busy. The must have little secretary or little assistants that can talk. Come on. I mean, especially when it's something this important, and it will benefit the community and benefit persons in need. You can't be too busy as to not to help those who are in need. It doesn't make sense.
But we're talking about a child going to a government school for 4 years without a bathroom. People have been, and the principal wrote a lot. The parent lobbied. It just never happened. And I will say to anybody, the only difference between their lobbying and my lobbying is I became annoying. Must start a call every week. Must start a call.
Do you have a count of all the kids that are facing disability in Antigua?
So based on the census, which again they launched yesterday, is we had 16,000 people 10 years ago who have some form of a disability.
16,000, okay.
However, the census does not give us the data with specific age, the type of disabilities, and these things. So yesterday, actually even before the launch yesterday, I spoke to the census, and I'm hoping we can do an in-depth disability study after the census. So they would go out, they're going to gather the information baseline with regards to who has a disability, and then we need to find some money to pay the people of them to go back into the field and gather more specific data with regards to where they live, were they born with a disability, or did they inherit the disability? Is it a family trait? There are lots of different questions we now need to ask. So it cannot be done during the regular census. It has to be done after.
It took you it took you to get sick. It took you to lose your job for something like this to be implemented into the country. Don't answer that. Okay, don't answer that. Okay, it's okay. You don't have to answer that one.
No.
Okay. I'm just saying. What have they been doing all this time in regards to kids with the? I'm just saying.
No, I think, KYIBaby, it's the issue of. So my way of advocating is different than the regular way of advocating. The regular way of advocating is cursing the government. We're going to get on the radio station.
No, we don't need to do all of that. But I'm saying
that is how we think advocacy works. We think I am sitting here telling you there was a child without a bathroom. I never went and protested. I never went outside and not bashing the government. What I did is I went and I spoke to the people who I know could get the job done.
Right.
The people who could get the job done is Public Works and the Ministry of Education and Board of Education.
Then maybe what you need to do, Miss Francis, is you need to have a training program where you can actually train these other people to know how to talk, what to do, who to go to get things done. Because
just become annoying and
maybe they're not educated. Maybe
you just come annoying. Me send punch.
So you annoy them.
Annoying, yes. You have to become annoying. Call them every week.
Well, maybe
send ya in and then chat.
Yeah, but maybe a lot of them is not annoying enough. So maybe you need to develop a group to teach annoyance. This is how you annoy people. Annoyance one-on-one. This is how you annoy the living out of this individual to get them to work. So maybe you know, I don't think the human good is the only thing that you need to do. I think you need to start a school of annoyance, because if you being annoying got this done for this child, and I'm sure that I would love to speak to that baby to know how that baby feel knowing that they have access around the school.
She can just go to the bathroom
and
now.
They can do everything without have to be independent. You can just imagine we as adults sometimes it is so hard when we want to go to the bathroom, and it is so hard on us, and I can just imagine what that poor baby had to go through.
4 years. I said to somebody, every time she needed to go, she needed to ask for help. Can you imagine the mental trauma? At this point, Danny, forget she's son therapy.
And then you spoke about annoyance. What if somebody become annoyed with her keep coming to them for help?
Exactly. So you have to put things in place so she can become independent. I also said, in one of the meeting, and then turn up there and say, no rape real. People just get funny.
Exactly.
What about
especially when she can't help herself?
No, but she's not at that age. But I said she has to learn how to use the bathroom, not on her own.
You can't say not of that age, because I've read somewhere where the youngest person to see their period is 6 years old.
Oh,
so you can never say not at that age.
No, but let's be realistic. You want to be able to go on your own, and for 4 years of her life, it was always being dependent. And the problem with disability is once people become dependent, they don't have no motivation. They feel overwhelmed. Sometimes it plays with their mind. And
let me tell you this, right? You do have a point, because I've seen where even persons, some vagrants in town or all over Antigua, they suffer from some form of disability. And I realize that sometimes I'll be like, they don't have any family members. They don't have anybody to help them. They're just sitting out here on the road and they're dirty and they're smelly. They're begging for food. They can't 7 or 11. And it goes back to what you're just saying. Persons become annoyed helping them out.
Correct.
They don't want to have them as their responsibility. And when they see that they can't 7 or 11, they can't help themselves, then they have to be dependent. You know, so and it messes with you mentally,
No, I am a good person. I am a fairly good. And there are days that even in my goodness, I am tired. So I'm not as giving on those days. I'm not as bubbly on those days. And I said to somebody in a scenario, come and tell them I become annoyed. I'm going to start to lay out facts. Can you imagine if somebody's having a bad day and she asks this person who's having a bad day to carry her to the bathroom?
Oh, Lord.
And now that the person no good, no, they just
right. They're just humans.
Have you ever left your house and your tire just bust? Like your whole day just, no matter what happened, your bets.
Or sometimes you just wake up and there's just something you don't know what it is, but you're just not in that mood.
Correct.
I am a bubbly person as well. My personality goes, and there are times when I'm just out of it. I don't know what it is, but I just don't want to be bothered. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. Let me get through the day. I can't even explain to you what is causing all of that. So to each his own, and everybody has to go through some part of, that emotional, change. But I'm just saying, kudos to you and to the person that went ahead who took your advice and to help out this young lady. But I'm sure there are many other persons and young people that is going through similar, maybe even worse.
Correct. And this is why we have to get to the place where we're generating revenue. I want to create a museum surrounding waste management. I want to break 50 Guinness World Book records. I want to put Antigua and Barbuda on the map. I want to create an attraction. So I left Antigua, and when you go travel, you type in what is in New York to do, what is in Atlanta to do. I want when people type in what is in Antigua to do, come to visit Good Humans 268. We're gonna have several major things that we've collected, so when you come, we can generate revenue so we can give people jobs. Right. The idea is not to complain. We're gonna talk about the past. The bathroom situation was the past. Right. But as I said, that is one bathroom until at least 10 more schools for do. And if the government now had the money, that means we need to be generating revenue and we can get corporate citizens on board. And the idea right now is to create a system where we can generate enough revenue to give people jobs.
Have you ever thought about having a GoFundMe as well?
So we do have a GoFundMe, but GoFundMe don't work as well as we think it in Antigua.
No, I'm not saying for Antigua, my love. No, but let's be honest. Sometimes you have to go outside,
True.
And look beyond. So I'm not just expecting it to just be help from Antiguan and Antiguans alone. We're looking for everywhere because it's going to benefit your children and your children's children.
Correct.
You understand me? And persons need to realize that stop being selfish. Oh man, and I want to get them and I rich them and get rich off of it. Come on. Do you have people those mentality, right?
Yes, we do. And this is why I'm saying to you, a lot of people see us showing up and they think, them have money. But the reality is we don't have money. What we have is a leader with a vision. Who knows?
But do you have to have a disability to be a part of
the
268?
Everybody and then granny invited, because you don't need to be someone with a disability to become a disability advocate.
But I think I have a disability. I keep choosing the wrong people to come in my circle. Is that a disability?
No, it's not.
You're sure? I think you need to add that to the disability list now. Can we keep on choose the wrong set of people, wrong set of friends, wrong set of ex baby daddies, and wrong set of ex-boyfriends and all these things.
It now work out. The choice.
I think it's a disability. I think you need to advocate for that it is a disability. Something wrong.
Something wrong.
Something wrong.
But sometimes I find that people, again, talking from personal experience, people judge you because they see you. I had a meeting this morning with a particular company, and he said to me, Joshua, people, I've never seen you not smiling. And I said to him, when you get up, you wash your skin, you put on your clothes, you go outside, and whatever life problems is happening, you leave that in your car. Because you don't know who is watching you.
That's not the only thing. Let me explain this to somebody. Sometimes, not straying away from the topic. But I have seen where a lot of persons who unalive themselves because of things that they're going through personally. Do you know most of these people have the biggest smiles?
Correct.
They are the most happiest and the most heartwarming, but you never know what they're going through because while you see them with one smile, so you think everything is okay. But remember this, not everything that glitters is gold.
Correct.
Do you understand me? And things do happen, and you never know what someone is going through internally.
Correct.
Right? Even externally, you don't know what it is that they're going through. All you see
is a smile.
Is a smile and what they present on the outside, but it's much deeper than what it is. You understand? So even though they see you as this bubbly person, you're still a human and you still have flaws.
Correct. Lots of flaws. I will curse you. I haven't cursed out anybody in a long time. It's been over a year, but I will.
So you think you're kind of overdue?
Because some people deserve some dirty bad word.
But I'm saying you think the time due.
Some people deserve it now because me tell you, they don't really push your buttons, you know.
I'm just say, listen to me, Joshua. But I'm just asking, you know, because it's a long time, you know. You know, say over 1 year, say look like the time due for you have a little curse out.
Because somebody need to forget it. But I will say all that we do is for individuals with disabilities, and our team has been showing up. And I will say, KYIBaby, I think one of the challenges that we face right now also is enough people don't know who we are and what we're doing. So we have a good amount of people who know good humans, but we don't have the majority of the population. So that means even today I'm driving, you know how many businesses we haven't asked for help, and sometimes it's just about asking them for help. And if we were to ask different businesses on board and get them onto our program and them beginning to lobby for change will happen. And this season that we're in, I have prayed to the Lord. I'm like, Father God, I think I done learn all the lesson. I'm like for out of the season. Please do God bless you. Give me the little money so I can pay the people in them that and I can live in a peace. But apparently I have a couple lessons to learn, so we're not out of the season yet.
Not out of the season
yet. But I will say in this season is when we thought of Guinness World Book record. In this season is when we thought of creating a tourist attraction. In this season we thought of eco events, eco communities, waste management course. In this season of brokenness and stressed out and tired and lots of tears is when we were able to develop something that will change Antigua and Barbuda in the next 10 years.
But how can individuals in the community contribute to or get involved with your initiatives?
So they can reach out to us at 789-GOOD. That is 789-4663. That number again is 789-4663. You can send us an email at info@goodhumans268.org. info@goodhumans268.org. You can donate to our efforts. We have a bank account at ACB. The number is 10,055.75. Call me. You can make a donation in person. And I will say, KYIBaby, like for instance, our website. We have a website. Duran hasn't been paid. Leon, and I could list out businesses and people that we owe. And just like I will say to anybody, just like my team is going, these people are rock up on bill. However, they haven't stopped giving us their service because the mission is bigger than Joshua Francis. It is how we change the lives of individuals with disabilities in the next 10 years.
Right.
And it is hard. It is exhausting. But I just like when I get up and I wonder how I'm gonna put gas.
And you know what? I want these persons to also bear in mind that disability does not only happen if you are born with it.
Correct.
Right? It can be developed over time.
Correct.
Situations can cause you to now have a disability.
Correct.
You understand me? A friend of mine, and not everybody can handle a disability, because a friend of mine, her mom is diabetic like myself, because I'm diabetic. And it so happens that she was to amputate her leg.
Oh, wow.
And the fact that she had to amputate that leg, that woman took it on, and she was a nurse at Mount St. John's, but she took it on so bad that she only lasted a few months.
Oh, wow. And let me tell you, see,
So
I want to be a state of the art compound, right? And I want to have the perfect example. I will say, like AA meetings, I want us to link up on a Thursday or a Wednesday, and we're just going to all sit in a nice circle.
And talk of the experience.
Yes, because another thing with having a disability in this country, it's very lonely. Because we don't connect enough. This is why I want to do an in-depth study on the census. So, KYIBaby, I tell you,
I don't, and the thing is, a lot of persons are afraid to talk, and people need to learn to talk up now, Jack. I mean, persons are afraid to relate certain things that they're going through.
No, because they're not in a safe space. So we have to create that safe space. Because while I can sit here and I'm open, so me gonna tell you, I haven't been paid. I may tell you, he cab send me a letter and tell me they're gonna take it for me land. Me don't care about them. What they gonna do?
Take away your land 2 more times.
So when I call the girl, so someone say, how long I have before I take over my land? And she said, well, you only about 8,000 because I haven't paid them since October. I'm like, well, my land at 1 acre land, I have the value of my land about 300,000. So me and she laughed. She's like, you have some time. And I'm saying, and I don't want nobody to think that I am perfect because I have cried about it. There are lots of days and there are lots of tears.
Right.
However, I will say what has been keeping me going is failure cannot be an option, number 1. Right. And number 2, we're already here. It's just about passing this hurdle. It's just about finding that place. And what has to happen is while I am open, I'm allowed to chat. There are a lot of people, we have to create a safe space where they know it is okay to say that you're broke. I am broke, but what you will not see is...
I'll be the first. I am broke. Really broke.
No, but then, Auntie, and we live in a culture where people want to give the illusion that they're not broke and everything is glitz and glams. However, we have to create that space where, it's okay. There are lots of us struggling. This is what I'm saying. And a lot of us are struggling since 2020 because 2020, the world shut down.
I think a lot of persons, it's taken a longer time for them to catch themselves, especially after, going through the pandemic crisis. But the thing is, sometimes some of these said individuals let people have things to say because, let me tell you, regardless of how much the fete costs, they're going to find the money to be there. But regardless of the costume, them have to go pay for, they're going to find, some of them borrow, beg, and even thief just to get the money and everything else just to attend these fetes and be a part of these fetes. You understand? So that is the reason why them say the people don't have money.
But I will say to anybody, I feel like that those statements are unfair statements to the public of Antigua and Barbuda. There's a percentage of the population based on the census. I can't go based on data, not Joshua Net. Based on the census, 100,000 people live on island. Mm-hmm. There's a percentage of the population that are Christians. They don't go to fetes. There's a percentage. There's a percentage of the population that are children.
I beg to differ.
No, but wait,
a pastor looked at me, and a pastor looked at me, and a pastor told me he goes to fete to see what is really happening, what the devil is advertising that will draw the people there. So he goes to the fete with the intention of ministering. I asked him, did you happen to minister at the fete? He said no, because he was just taking down information. Pastor Lime, they did a bugodong.
No, but he is one pastor, and there are lots of people who are Christians who don't go to fetes. There's a percentage of the population who are adolescents, they don't go to fetes. There's a percentage of the population that are old. Remember, there's still people within this demographic that do go to fetes. And then there's still a percentage of the population that can't afford to go to fetes. Then there's a percentage of the population like myself who just, it's not my thing.
I understand all of that.
So there's a big percentage of the population that does not fet. And then, I'm not gonna call no names. When particular people get on social media and then they're like, oh, Antiguans have money, can I fet? That's a lie. There's a percentage of women who will sell them body and then go do all kind of things. But me not sell my body, so me not go so you cannot say, oh, Antiguans have money.
But that is what I'm saying. There are many persons, it goes back to what I said earlier, Joshua, and many persons push themselves through all different type of things because some will beg, some will borrow.
You
know much people.
They will thief too, you know.
And some of them will go Pulpit Street or any. Some of them don't even have to go there on Pulpit Street. Some of them invite you to their house, and some of them invite, and then you invite
No, but
them.
then if that percentage of the population, which is 25, if say 25% of the population, which is 25,000 people, they are the party goers. There's still 75% of the population who don't fet. So us making these general statements and some of the fets. So we've been to a few events last year, not for events.
But you ever hear so they good make it bad for
Shout out to Oasis. I love them bad. Thank you very much for your continued support.
But you ever hear so they good have to suffer for the bad?
No, but 25,000 people cannot.
Yeah, but
the KYIBaby, you know, and I've been a teacher for 9 years. I'm also talking from data, interacting with different students. There are lots of people out there struggling, you know.
I know that.
Really struggling.
Listen to me. And it was this morning, I'm into a rental group where, you know, we put through to rent apartments and anything because I'm searching for somewhere because I keep telling everybody where I'm living. I rent a 1-bedroom apartment and I have to pay $1,550 a month.
That's a lot
for a 1-bedroom, you know. And if the the 1-bedroom I have does not have a window.
Oh wow!
I have no window. I'm asthmatic, diabetic, hypertensive. So when I have an asthma attack, I have to be spreading the mattress into the living room to sleep or to stay there and then have all the fan on me because my landlord is telling me that I cannot bring anything like an AC at the apartment, even the ones that you're plugging, you know, the standing ones. He said I can't bring none of those there.
So I have to find somewhere else.
You understand? It can only be a fan. When the rain falls, if the water runs down on the wall.
Oh Lord!
So if I touch the wall,
problem.
Me start get shocked. If I walk barefoot in the house, me start get shocked. Say no, this is not grounded. And the thing is, when you go inside a rental group for find houses or apartments or whatever, the amount of money these people want to charge you. When you don't pay rent, you can't find money for buy food.
This is why I'm having.
You can't find money for even go doctor for go take care of yourself. You can't find nothing for even buy a new liquor underwear to put on. Nothing because everything is so expensive. And then these landlords is like they want to get rich overnight, and nobody consider the fact you have to eat and me have to eat.
Correct.
So make it a bit more easier. It's like they want you to make a couple months payment and you pay off the entire mortgage for what them owe the bank.
Okay, you recognize that. So first thing first, you're classified as someone with a disability based on the different illnesses you have. Disability is an impairment and it affects the regular function in life. So even individuals who wear glasses, they're classified as individuals with this. They're just not on the spectrum. Because what happens is if you remove that glasses from that person's eye, some people cannot function as normal. They get headaches and they daze. So what happens is you would be on the spectrum of someone with a disability. However, you can function like myself. I can work. I can go out.
Speak for yourself. Whenever I go to the bank, it's a disability line I join. Speak for yourself, my love.
So if you as let's say someone on the lower spectrum of disabilities having these issues, can you imagine somebody else?
I know.
The trauma.
I know.
The stress. This is why they need jobs.
I was in the hospital, and then it's not just wanting the jobs. You know, I think there are certain things. There are certain laws that need to put in place too, because you have some employers. I'm not talking about all, but you do have some employers that, because of the disability, one, they won't hire you.
Correct. That's a big thing,
right? Because of your disability.
And when you do get, remember you said earlier that you can inherit a disability, so you weren't born with it, so you're working fine.
Me never born with diabetes.
I know you have.
I developed it in 2019. I wasn't born with hypertension. I wasn't born with asthma.
But
I
you have
it over time, and it's even worse when you develop it.
And you know, some people, you're fortunate. You're one of the fortunate few who still has a job. You know, people get fired because of that.
Exactly.
Because
that's why the law needs to go in place. Do you know that
there's a
in
law?
America,
we have the 2000. There is a law We have a law on the books. There's a 2017 Disability Act. The act speaks to things like this. This is why I want my case heard by the tribunal. You cannot fire me because I have arthritis. It's not grounds for termination. What you have to do as an employer is put things in place to ensure I can still work.
Right.
And what has to happen is, and I cannot wait for us for our day in court. And I'm telling you, I ball a lot. The people, they offer me 6,000 first. Then they offer me, oh, I'm glad you look. When they offer me 6,000, you see that look, that's the look. I'm like, what is that? Then they offered me 15. And I said, you cannot. No care how broke me be, no care how tired me be, no care how. The only how I ain't pay me what I deserve to get paid if I shut me eye in debt. And by the way, if I shut me eye in debt, my case file day, make sure Jarvis get the liquor money that I'm supposed to pay. So, what your situation and my situation is the reality of disability.
But I'm saying, you see, I talk a lot and I ask a lot of questions. And I remember when I loaned someone some money and we had it in writing, right, to say that I've loaned you this amount of money and you're going to pay me back X and X amount of time, I did not get it. And when I told the person I was going to bring the person to court for my money, they said, stand there, you're going to spend more time in a court more than anything.
It's been 5 years and I have not had a day in court as
they
yet.
say you're going to lose more than the money that you even owe me.
Time, energy, effort. But again, my case now, I will say to anybody, so I want my money. I want all my money they owe me. The claim that we have is about 116,000. This does not include me need to go therapy and all these things because I've been very emotional about this. Like some days, only now I talk about it and I don't cry. But there were periods where, and even now, there's some days when I'm really overwhelmed.
Especially when they see that you're lacking and there are things that you need to be done.
And it's gonna hurt. One mortgage, right? Just know me got one bad few days. Come on, need to catch myself. Come on, want to live in my own house. I live in the man place. If the man decide for come out to place where I go, but when we have a mortgage, so if I win a day, just summary,
just saying,
there's a lot.
Do you have a building?
No, we're trying to work on it. So I asked the government to give me 15 acres of land because I want to build a nice building and I want to spell out good because I want, when individuals with disabilities, I want to create a home away from home. Right. And let me tell you, the experiences that you have and I have, because I will say to anybody, I'm a passionate advocate because I know what it is like to lose things.
Right.
I know what it's like to call all of my friends. ECAB say put $12,000 upon your account because you need for how deposit. I call all my friends and I'm beg them for lend me little money. When I get to $12,000, I remember crying from time and say, Father God, I could not have get to this place just for lose. That's March 20. Then they send me a letter in March. It's same March saying, we're terminating your employment. That means all of the struggles, all of the fights, and anybody who's gone to get a mortgage knows, and I'm an overnight subbing. 3 years of hard work. You know how much for one plan? You know, you have to pay the valuator for the plan. You know, you know how many things you have to pay for before you even get a mortgage.
Right,
so I've experienced that loss, and now I want to ensure I can give it to individuals with disabilities. Diana, that little girl from Potters, we have to put things in place so she can get a job because she's going to need a job in order for her to live a good life because handouts are not going to help her. And I will say to anybody, they see me, but you really don't know the stories, the struggles, the sacrifices behind
and this was just last December that Diana has gotten that ramp and everything.
Yes.
To have access to the bathroom.
Yes.
You know what, Joshnet, I think you're going to come back on my program because the next time you come, I want you to bring Joshnet. I want you to bring Diana and the parent of Diana. They're going to talk about the struggles that they're facing.
No, but I
think the public needs to know.
So you see, this conversation, I want to have what we call conscious conversations. I've been writing it in the newspaper, but I want to have a place where we can talk to individuals with disabilities where they can share their real life experiences about living with a disability.
Listen,
you're supposed to be able.
My doors are open. My show is open, and like I said to you, Joshnet, the reason why I'm saying this is because I think persons will not necessarily understand until they're here and see, because if you can see, we're live on Facebook and other social media platform, because we also post this to our YouTube and our Instagram and our TikTok page and all of that. So this is not just being heard right here in NT, it's widespread. So this is what I would love to do. I would love for our next meeting, Josh Renette, is to have a few persons who are going through who have a disability and who is having an issue getting a job or getting on from the.
So one of the things I've learned is I'm open. You know, money, the people ain't gonna take away my land, but plenty problems in my life, but you get up and I smile. But they have learned a lot of individuals with this. They're not as open. They're not as open as I am, which is a problem.
That is where you come in now, because you love chat. You can sweet talk them and tell them, listen, personally, there must be one or two that is willing to talk as to, you must find somebody, if it's even one or two, even that parent for that child, you know, how they feel knowing that now they have access
to a bathroom
for the child, and the child does not have to be dependent. Do you worry? I want to know from the parent, do you worry when you send your child to school, you can't be at the school with the child? So when the child wanting to use the bathroom, you cannot be there, you cannot assist. How do you feel knowing that?
There's a lot of questions that I want, just like there's a lot of questions that you want to ask about then, now, and the future. Are you worried about her future? If she was going to a government school and the government could not provide that basic necessity, what happens if can college provide that necessity? Can she ever get a job? Can she ever get insurance? Can she ever own a car? Can she get a driver's? There are now lots of questions.
Because a lot of persons with disability, they would leave university and them still can't get no job. But they are qualified, they have their degrees, their bachelors and all that, but they will never get a job based on their disability. We need to change that, and the change need to start now.
Correct.
You understand me? The change need to start now. And I'm with you, honey, and I'm part of the Josh Renette's team now, so watch out, everybody. All right, KYIBaby is here live and direct, and we're coming to do our thing, right, Josh Renette?
We're doing things to ensure that in the next 5 years, if we're consistent and we keep having these conversations now and then, can you imagine the change? Some of the problems that we're talking about now will no longer be problems, because we started to talk about them. We gave the solution, and I'm gonna go out there and ensure that corporate Antigua is willing to help us become a part of the solution to the problem.
Well, Josh Renette, I must say it's been a pleasure having you here. I love you already. Right? I don't know why we've never met before.
You met me when you used to do karaoke at CNC.
I still do karaoke. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll be having karaoke tonight, All Saints, across from MacPon, right, sir, by Tasha. So I'll be there from 8
you still do karaoke?
Yes.
You have a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you, darling. I do try. So I'll be having karaoke tonight from 8:30 to midnight over there in All Saints at MacPon. So you guys come on out and enjoy. And you hear what Josh Renette say? You never enjoy the karaoke, Josh Renette?
Yes, you have a love, and you see that personality. You are definitely an entertainer. We used to come to CNC just to see you sing. You have the vibe, the good energy.
Right, that's so. Tell them again, them never hear. For those in the back, tell them again.
You have KYIBaby fully endorsing the voice, the energy, the vibe. Wherever she did, show up, buy some chicken, buy 2 beer, support the thing so she can get paid.
Right, that's so. Right, that's all. So, to all my listeners and all our viewers, thank you guys so much for being here, and for having Josh Renette Francis with us, the advocate for persons with a disability, and she's also the founder of Good Humans 268 Inc. And we're just thanking everybody for keeping it locked right here on ZDK Liberty Radio. It's about that time where I got to go. So do have a beautiful Wednesday, and I'll see you guys soon. Remember, if you're walking, walk good. If you're driving, do so safely and responsibly. And remember, every mistake in life is a learning experience. Life is what you make it, so make the best of it. Do have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.